Hello, everybody out there. It's Sandy Cottontail coming to you from my sewing room. And again, it's my pleasure to be here on Wacky Wednesday to share some fun with you. And I can't see comments, so I'm hoping somebody is actually listening and is out there and is visiting. I'll wait till the 1 minute mark and then I'll get started. Oh, hi, Carol. I'm here. Yes, Sandy Cottontail is here. I'm a bunny. Don't tell Playboy, but I'm a bunny. Anyways, it's good to have you guys signing in. I'm sorry I missed last week. I do hope you really enjoyed my cousin Cindy Bleach. I know she had lots of good washing jokes and everything and had lots of fun last week. So thank you. And I'm here. Hi, Luann. Hi, Phyllis. I am Sandy Cottontail, as I said before. And today I'm going to be hopping down the bunny trail with you. And it's more like going down the rabbit hole. And I'll tell you that story in a few minutes about what happened when I did it. Why, hi, yo, Adrienne. I'm so glad you were able to sign in. Anyways, we are going to be working on Easter, if you couldn't figure it out. It's so exciting. I love Easter. Anyways, I do have to put my glasses on because this Easter bunny, hi, Teresa S., this Sandy bunny is a little bit blind. There, and then her ears fall off. Okay, are you all set? Okay, happy Easter, everybody. And shout outs to all my wonderful people that were signed in, well, it'll be 2 weeks ago now. And thank you so much for watching on Facebook or YouTube or letting me know that you did either of those things when you come into the store. So I shout outs and hi, Sandy. Ooh, more carrots. Anyways, hi to my Wacky Wednesday followers, Carol G., Loanne F. and Neil B., Teresa S., Nicola P., and P-L, she's one of my all-time viewers, Denise B., Rose L. and her mom Ann, Billy P., who I just saw in the store a few minutes ago, hope you made it home safe to watch or watch later, Ann S., Glenda and Mike, as always, I'm glad you guys have a chance to watch. And our sisters, Rose and Nikki, I'm glad you're able to enjoy it as well. And a special shout out to our friend down in Lethbridge, Donna H. She was telling me when I talked to her on the phone that she always watches. And of course to Jean and Maui Jim, a big shout out, and Flames won. Didn't think they were gonna, but they pulled it out. Third period. Also a nice hello to Mary Zed, Debbie and Betty and Mark, Glenn and Debbie, my friend Nancy and Riley, and my special Fern, Shirley. Shout out to Gwen MCN. Also watch, I didn't realize John and Kaysen also watch, and so does Cam and his wife Betty. So thank you for all of the support from all my people. As wonderful, you are wonderful. Thank you. So how many Easter eggs can you put in an empty basket? Only one, because after that, the basket's not empty anymore. Ta-da. Oh, ta-da. Oh, I've got a drum today. Ta-da. Okay. What did the Easter Bunny say to the carrot? Nom, nom, nom. Nice gnawing, you. Woo! All right. So today, you guys have all been hearing about our like our challenge for the month, which is the viewers challenge about baskets and everything. Well, I got to tell you, I went down the rabbit hole, got a little excited and started some funny baskets. Okay, so I started off with the basket that you get in the kit, and that is the There's so many. Oh my God, I got to tell you, there's so many new cameras. This is the catch-all basket. And this is the kit that Dawn has put together. It has the catch-all pattern in it. And it gives you fabric to make your first set. So the catch-all fabric basket kit is $19.99 plus tax. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to join the crowd. I am going to do the basket challenge. So I started off with the basket that Dawn provided for us. And then I thought, well, gee, I made a vest. And then, oh my goodness, there was leftover vest material. And then it started. It was down that rabbit hole going 900 miles an hour. And, oh, I found some Laurel Birch fabric. Oh, and then I went back and I thought, oh, I found some really pretty ones that I was going to use for my farmer's wife. And then I found what was left over from my fabric. Oh, I should show you this. What was left over from my superhero fabric. It's the Marvel comic. And I thought this is really cute. And I put little white stars inside. I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a dry throat here. Anyways, it just happened. It just happened, you guys. Every basket I did, I just wanted to do more and more and more. So when I say I went down the rabbit hole, I really, really did. Okay, so the story. Okay, so it started with buying some of the lovely Celebrations fabric to make a vest. And then I had leftover fabric, so I made a basket. And I thought, well, that's really cool. I'm going to put treats in my basket for the kids. So that was fun. I thought that was a wonderful thing. Then I used the one that Dawn made for us. And I made my kids a special present. There's this wonderful superhero fabric called Marvel comic. And it's got the superheroes on it. And I thought, oh, they would love that. So what can I do with it? Well, I made them pillowcases. So I had these on the table downstairs, working really hard, getting everything all set up. And my son comes in and he says, oh, are you making something for, oh, thank you. You are such a sweetheart. I have to tell you that the staff at this store not only looks after you guys every time you come in, but they look after us as well. Sorry, I have a little tickle. Oh, there's a new person signed in, Robin S. from Maryland. Wow, that's awesome. All right, back to my story. So I've got these pillowcases and I've got the fabric all laid out. And he says, oh, you're making something from Ukraine. And I said, I know it's Ukraine colors, but it's not for Ukraine. And then he spies the superhero fabric and he goes, why? Who's getting the superhero fabric? And of course, as Carly would say, there goes your surprise. You know what you're getting for Easter. So I made the kids some Easter pillowcases, but they got the superheroes on them, which are really cool. So if you're interested and you've got a little person or an older person, a grown-up person, somebody who thinks they're really fun, please, we've got this fabric in. There's only one bolt and it's going to go fast once I tell everybody about it. Anyways, and then I put it in the little Easter basket. So they got two of my homemade things. So that's where I started with these baskets, going down that rabbit hole. Next, I thought, you know what? I can do this, but I got to tell you the story of it. So I get started, and it's from that catch-all pattern by the Quilt Company. And I get reading through step number 1, where you take, you've already cut out your fabric, and you've got a 12 by 20, and you've got main feature fabric 12 by 20, the interior, and you've got your fusible fleece. So at this point, I'm looking pretty good. So I think this is great. And it tells you to fuse the fabric onto the fusible fleece. And this is on your feature fabric. Then it tells you to put your lining and the feature fabric right sides together. And because it's a directional print, you're to sew it at the top along the edge. And I think that's so that when your basket turns out, it's right side up. So your flowers and everything aren't going to be upside down. So I thought, that's okay, I can do this. This is working really well. Then it says fold it in half. So I did. You fold it in half. Pin it on the seam. So pin from seam to seam, from front to back. I got some nose on my hand, sorry. And then you stitch. And you start, I started at this end, and you stitch all the way across, all the way along the lining, and then you stop. I did a back stitch and stopped. I skipped about 3 inches, and then I sewed again. So that made this whole side, I did it wrong, this way, this way, this way. This whole thing is now sewn together like this. And then it told me, reading instructions, which was always fun. It told me to lay the unit flat on my cutting surface with the batting side down, fold the unit in half and match the center seams, which I did. Pin the layers together, stitch the seam of the longest side across the seam and end with the outside fabric batting. Stitch the lining, leaving a 3-inch gap so you can pull it through. Clip the corners. So we got out our big scissors and we clipped all of our corners. So on this one, I just have 1 corner left. So I just clipped across just to take that nub out, and that gives you a little less bulk in your corner. So that's what I did. And then I looked at it and I said, now what do I do? Because the next part of this tells me that I'm supposed to press the unit flat, creating a fold line on the opposite seam and press the seam open. Well, I gotta tell you that that's a little hard on the fingers with the big iron. So I gotta tell you that it would have been really great if only I'd had one of these little mini irons to help me get that seam flattened out. So I recommend the Clover mini iron, whether it's mini iron 1 or mini iron 2, because it gets down into that seam, and then when it presses it open. Try doing that with your big steam iron. I'm telling you, my fingers were a little raw. Anyways, good trick. The other thing you could use, and I ended up doing that eventually, was to use a finger press. And we've got lots of finger presses. There's a Clover finger press. There's the Essential 4-in-1 tool. And then there's the point turner and presser. And these would work really well to press that seam. Or there was even a roll and press. Any of these would work to get that seam flattened out, because I'm telling you, it was a really hard job to do it with your big iron when you're steaming your fingers. All right. So I looked at that and I thought, well, now what do I do? So, of course, I was a little concerned. I don't know what I'm going to do next. So who made these? Dawn made these. So I called Dawn and said, Dawn, what do I do now? And she says, you know what? Do you know how to make boxed corners? And I said, yeah, I do. She said, just forget about putting the 6-inch ruler in the middle and trying to square it out. Make box corners. And I said, oh, I've made box corners before. Miss Ann showed us how to do it on Groovy Girls. So I have to take my gloves off for this because it's a little hard on the fingers. My fingers are too fat. So to box a corner, got to pull the 2 sides apart And what you're doing is you're going to fold open that seam. This is where that finger press comes in, and you can press that seam down good and hard. And you do the same from the other direction. Open it up and press it down really hard. So the corners that we used to make when we were in Groovy Girls, of course, you lined it up from front to back. And because we clipped off that little corner, it lays flat and forms a triangle. So it lays down like this. And that's the point at the top. So what you do then is take your ruler, and now you can make these box corners as deep as you like, as narrow as you like, as wide as you like, depending on how your basket wants to stand up. Okay, so there it is, all flattened out. So what I did was I took my ruler, the Omni Grid ruler I got, I set it on 1.5 inches. And then I straightened out the edges from underneath until I got them equal distance on both sides. Okay, so I've got 1.5 inches down. I now have approximately 1 inch. It's a little wider on that side. We've got to squeeze it a little bit this way till you get that guy right in the center. Because when you sew it, then you're going to make that box corner. So 1.5 inches down, right along the seam line, and they both come out to pretty close to the same side marking. So as long as it's the same distance from the center to the edge this way and this way, then you know it's going to turn out. So I made these guys 1.5 inches down, and it comes out to be 2.5. It's 1.5 inches on either side, so 3 inches. So then you just take that and you sew that line. And next thing you know, you've got a box corner, just like that. And so when you pull it through, your little box corners are on the inside, and they make a nice flat corner. And you can see the seam there. There's your box corner. It's nice and flat. And that just tucks inside the other one. And then I thought, oh, you're getting so smart, Sandy. You figured out how to make a box corner. Well, that's good. So then to finish it off, I ironed it very carefully around the top edge so it was even. And then I took it over to the sewing machine. And I took the table off it so it was just the free arm. Slide it onto the free arm, and then using either your 1/4 inch piecing foot, your walking foot, or your number 10 edge foot, you just sew a nice little line along the whole top of it so that it holds the two sides together. And as I was going, the little feet pull it, and it just pulls so smoothly and nicely all the way around on the free arm. And then you fold back your corners, your table, and I matched up the thread on this one so it's navy on one side and it's the beige color on the other, so there's no thread standing out. But you could make whatever kind of stitching line you like. You could make it decorative, you could make it the same color. I made a lot of them white, but you can make whatever you like, whether you want to match the fabric or whether you would like to have it contrast. So these things are super duper easy to make. You just need to get yourself some fabric, usually 2 fat quarters, and try and pick them out so that they either contrast or they are in the same line, and you can then, you know, which is going to be the lining, which is going to be the outside of the box. Is it going to be a tall box? Is it going to be a smaller little basket? You never know. But anyways, you just need 2 fat quarters, some fusible fleece, and away to the races you go. And I have to tell you, it was terrible. I went down that rabbit hole and I couldn't get back, and I just had so much fun making baskets. I just had basket after basket after basket. All right, anyways, why did the Easter Bunny have on a hat? Because he was having a bad hair day. Not so good, poor guy. And how can you tell which rabbits are the oldest in a group? You just look for the gray hairs. Awesome. Anyways, pick out your threads, Isacord, whatever you want to use with. I used a polyester because I think you need a little stretch when you're turning that bag inside out. I thought maybe I'd pop the cotton ones. Anyways, use your Isacord thread, your Metler, whatever you have for poly. It works the best. What else did I use that was important? Marking pens and pencils. Normally we have a great selection of Clover pens, and I do always recommend them, but the Frixon will work wonderful for this project as well because all of your markings are inside the bag. No one can see them. So whether they air erase or whether you friction them away or whether you heat them with an iron and iron them away, the friction pen does a really good job of marking, and nobody sees it because it's inside the bottom of the bag and you've sewn it all shut and everything's beautiful. So I had just a great time doing this, and I hope you guys do too when you do it. Have some fun. Not only are we doing things for Easter baskets, but they can be fun baskets for a birthday. They could be, I'm making one for my mom for Mother's Day, and let me show you the pretty fabric. So my mom lives in BC, and she can sit at her window and see the little birds as they come to feed at her feeder. She has lovely flower baskets on her deck where she is, and she just loves it. And so I thought this would be such a sweet thing, and she could put all of her things in it that she wants to keep close to her. So I thought that would be a really nice Mother's Day present. So keeping in mind Mother's Day is not very far away, these little baskets would be awesome for that. Absolutely adorable. So yes, baskets. I'm telling you, I was a basket case by the time we finished all of these baskets, but I had so much fun. All right, so why does Peter Cottontail hop down the bunny trail? Because he's too young to drive. Ooh, that's too funny. He's too young to drive. And what did one Easter egg say to the other? You heard any good yolks lately? Okay, so I have a couple more jokes for you, and I have to tell you that these are repeats from my last performance. What do you call a line of rabbits jumping backwards? A receding hairline. That was provided to me by Anne, so thank you. And what do you get when you pour hot water into a rabbit hole? You get hot cross bunnies. Yes, I think they'd be a little grumpy with you if you did that, wouldn't they? All right, a couple of announcements before I do my little song and dance. So just to remind everybody, this is Easter week. We are closed Good Friday at the store. We will be open our regular hours Thursday, closed Friday, and we're open our regular hours on Saturday, 10 to 6. So then you have our usual Sunday, Monday off, and then we're back on Tuesday for the whole week, regular time, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So just a reminder that we aren't here on Good Friday. It is the stat holiday. So next week, well, actually tomorrow, if anybody's doing the Brother Cottage getaway for 2, tomorrow is your class, Happy Place banner from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Miss Leah. Okay, so then pop 1 week. 1 week from today, on Wednesday, April 20th, it's the OESD Stitch party. They're going to be doing the wedding day garden flag. So good time to get this ready. If you've got any weddings coming up for the summer, that would be great. So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then next Friday, April 22nd, it is One Stitch at a Time with Barb, another class still going from 2 to 3:30. So those are all my big announcements for this week. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. And I'm going to sign off with my signature song. All right, are you ready? Here we go. I took the glasses off. Now I'm not going to be able to read the words, but here we go. Here comes Sandy Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. Bringing every girl and boy baskets full of Easter joy. Things to make your Easter such a happy day. Here comes Sandy Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. All right, I have to dedicate this song to a special person. So one of our inventory management team's name is John. And when I told John that I was going to be singing the Here Comes Sandy Cottontail song, he hopping down the bunny trail, he said, you know what? I used to live on Bunny Trail. And I said, really? Yes. So he lives on, it was in Ontario, and we looked it up and we saw the map and we saw that you go down the road past the Bunny Trail Falls to the fork in the road and take the fork. Turn left and you are on the Bunny Trail. And John used to live there. So that song is dedicated to John. So happy Easter, everyone. Sandy Cottontail signing off, wishing you a wonderful Easter. I hope that it's peaceful and loving and you get lots of treats. That's the best part. Anyways, thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate you signing in everything. Hi, Tina. Hi, Billy. Happy Easter, everybody. Oh, I'll be back next week. I won't tell you what I'm doing, but I'm going to have fun. Anyways, thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, put the glasses on so we can see what buttons to push.